I'm Kimberly Pichot, and I'm going to talk to you tonight about organizational change. The only thing that is constant in life is change. This is a quote by Francois de la Rochefoucauld, a writer. As organizations work in an environment of constant change, they are faced with with all sorts of forces for change. The culture is changing, the economy is up and down, people are changing, the demographics are changing, political and legal environment, more laws are being added or changed, or there's cases going on that change how business is doing. Our world is shrinking in a global economy, and technology is constantly in a state of flux. Closer to home to the organization, the customers are changing, their desires, their interests, what they want to buy, what the features that they like are fluctuating. Suppliers could be changing prices, and the suppliers and the distributors are also being affected by the environment. And then you have the whole competitor scenario where the competitors could be changing their strategies, which will also affect the organizations. In this kind of environment, then, you are facing, as a manager, a situation where you've got to be monitoring all sorts of data, all sorts of information, and figuring out what to do for your company to be the most successful possible. There is a model for implementing change that is widely known and very well accepted, Kotter's change model, and it includes 3 phases, and those 3 phases are broken down into 8 steps, and I'm going to briefly describe each one of them. In general, the 3 different categories of, or the steps, are: we must create an environment or a climate for change. And then secondly, we're going to engage and enable the whole organization to change. And then we want to implement and sustain the change to make it stick. So let's go through those 8 steps. First of all, in creating a climate for change, step 1 is we have to create an urgency. People don't like to change. You and I don't like to change. We have our habits, we have our ways of doing things, and we would rather just stay put. And so the organization must create some sort of an environment where the employees and everyone involved feels that sense of urgency to change. Step number 2 is to build a guiding team. No change agent can do this alone. So finding a group of people who can implement and be the champions for that change is very important. Step 3 is to get the right vision. The organization must be able to communicate some sort of vision that will inspire people, get them on board, and give them that end picture of where they're going. So then the second phase is engaging and enabling the whole organization. It also has 3 steps. So now we're at step 4. Communicate for buy-in is step 4. And you want to communicate with every level of the organization and involve people so that they are ready for the change. Then step 5 is to empower action. We need to make sure that the employees have the necessary capabilities, they have the skills necessary, they have the resources to implement the change. Step 6 is to create short-term wins. Everybody likes to feel like they're making progress, especially when change is uncomfortable. And so providing those step-by-step places where they can feel like they're making progress will be important. The third phase then is implementing and sustaining change. And so now we're at step 7. Don't let up. People need to implement and get to the point where they are comfortable and working hard on that change. And then step 8, make it stick. Once they've made the change, they need to get used to it and adapt it and implement it in such a way that they now make it their own.